I know, but
You'll have to let us know.
it's only for like 4 or 5. It's like it's a couple months. It's not even every. It's only like 8 games.
Okay.
All right, you better let us know.
I will. But it
We
doesn't
need a
start
heads
for at
up.
least, it doesn't start for at least a couple weeks.
Okay.
It starts like on the beginning of September.
Okay.
So I'll let you know. I'd appreciate it, and then we'll go right back to Mondays because that works way better for me. Hey, everybody. Happy Monday. Now that you just heard the logistics of what's happening, trying to figure out when we're going to podcast once football starts because of high school cheer and football at the H. Ricky, what's the H?
Francis Howell.
That's right. HOW. HOW.
Is there a saying after that?
Yes, ELL is the appropriate
Oh
response.
my gosh.
Sorry.
Kind of like
No.
Mizzou. Yes. Anyway, so hey, glad you're here. Alfred's here. Adam's here. What's going on? I know, who is that blonde lady? I don't know. We have a special guest in the house. I'm saying it's going to be a new. We're gonna have to figure out what's going on here. I think she's from a galaxy far, far away. But we'll figure it out. I'm glad you're here, and we are going to answer questions as we do. Just a heads up for our early jumper inners here that we are going to be switching the recordings in about 2 or 3 weeks to Tuesday nights instead of Monday nights, just for a few weeks over the fall because of JV football, because Mallory will be cheerleading and I will be in the stands because she's finally in high school. And the JV games are on Monday nights. So I will be
That's
there.
a weird night for there to be football.
Well, it's JV, right?
I know, but it's still a weird night for there to be football. I mean,
Well, they have 3 teams. They have freshman football, they have JV football, and they have varsity. So Friday Night Lights is Fridays, obviously.
right.
That's the big games where thousands come out. And then JV and freshmen play on Mondays.
You'd think that they play on like Thursdays.
You would think.
Yeah.
But they don't. They never have.
That's weird.
I think even when we were in high school, we played on. No, we might have played on Thursdays.
You act like I went to football games when I was in high school. That's
you didn't
adorable.
go to Hazelwood Central. You went to Central, didn't you?
I did, but I didn't go to football games. I went to one football game my entire high school
Are
career.
you drunk? We had the best football team in the state.
I went
You
to
didn't go to the
one
games?
football game. Yeah.
You
I
were
went to the homecoming game my senior year. That was it. That was the only game I went to.
God, we had the best. That environment was almost like college at Central. Hey, Jimmy, we'll see you down at the Minute Maid. Pujols is already getting ready. He's looking for Brad Lidge. We'll see you in the World Series. Okay, here we go. So let's answer listener questions. Then Pam is going to take us to the Galactic Star Cruiser, to the Halcyon.
I am. I didn't want to come back. That's why I was on there for so long.
Well, see, down in Texas, they play on Thursdays. Oh, see, that's how you do it in Texas. That's probably how it should be done.
See, that makes more sense.
Well, I mean, if they do it in Texas, they know how to do high school football. So
I'm telling you, that makes more sense.
I don't know. Maybe the AD has something going on Thursday nights. Who knows? Anyway, so we're going to talk about it. Pam said the food is excellent in space, which is good to hear because astronauts always say you kind of lose your taste in space. So we'll talk about that. We'll see the logistics of being in space. But let's answer questions first. So if you have any questions that are burning on your radar, drop them in the comments. We'll get to those during this show, but we have a lot queued up here. And hope that's one for Mike Bankhead, actually. So here we go. Let's do this. 2138. Got the OG team back. This is exciting news. All right. Here we go. Welcome to episode 2138 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you. As always, hope you're having an outstanding week, that it is very productive, and more importantly, that it's fun. You know what? Because they're not mutually exclusive. You can have a very productive week, and every once in a while, you're allowed to squeeze in a little bit of fun. So remember that, teachers. I know it's back to school time, but how about telling your kids that in the classroom this year, that it's okay to be a good student and still have fun? You know, every once in a while, now you can't just have fun and not be a good student, because I had the clowns, right? And I was one of those kids in school. So I know, because I went to a private church school for elementary school. I spent a lot of my time with my nose up against a circle that was drawn onto the chalkboard. Mike, go over to the chalkboard. They just draw a circle on the chalkboard, your nose right there. I spent a lot of time there thinking about why I wouldn't shut up. So I know that, but hey, it's okay nowadays to be happy and productive and have a good time in the classroom and at work. So let's do that this week. But more importantly, let's answer some listener questions because that's why you're here. You're not here to hear me talk about stuff like that. And today we have the OG team back together. I'm so excited for today's show. Joining us today from the mouseforless.com, we have Ricky. Ricky, happy Wednesday. What's going on?
Happy Wednesday. I am so glad to be here. I'm so glad that Pam is back. Woo! Yay! And it's a great week. So I'm just happy. I'm happy.
I'm happy because this Friday, high school football kicks off here in Missouri and probably all around the country. Now, this week, let me ask you about this, Ricky, because I'll give you a little test here. This week, you're not allowed to play games. We have something called the high school Jamboree.
Okay.
You know what the high school Jamboree is? Because I'm excited for this. And this is only what the hardcore fans are into. It's the Jamboree. What is that? Let's ask you a question here.
I mean, you keep focusing on the word jam, so I'm worried that it involves jam. I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, you do get in if you bring a canned good to the H. That is your admission. You can either pay $1 to get into the game or canned goods for the local pantry. So you can bring jam or jelly, I guess, or you can bring really green beans. Everybody gives green beans. Nobody wants green beans or peas.
I do, but that's fine.
It's amazing because I used to run the food drive when I was an elementary school teacher, and I was the student council sponsor with Pam. Yeah. And the thing was, we got so many peas because nobody ate them.
I eat peas. I make darn good peas. I love my peas. My peas are really good. I mean, they're not healthy. They're not good for you, but they're good.
So we always had the competition between the classes. I tell my sixth graders, I'm like, okay, go across the street to Schnucks or Shop and Save and buy up all the ramen because it's cheap and it counts as one unit, even though
my gosh.
And I was like, buy the ramen, we'll count them as each is one. I was like, and just buy peas. I was like, because we'll just kill it. And we used to win all the time. But anyway, back to what I was saying, the Jamboree is actually kind of a preseason scrimmage where 3 other schools are going to come to the H, Francis Howell, to our school, and you play like 15-minute scrimmages and rotate against the other 3 schools. You kind of run like a couple offensive sets, a couple defensive sets, and like we'll move around. Like we'll play to Smet for 15 minutes, McClure North for 15 minutes, and like one other school I can't even remember.
Can you see my excitement?
It's exciting. I mean, it's the kickoff of the season.
I'm excited that you're excited, Mike. I'm excited that you're excited.
In the back of my head, I hear Phil Collins right now, like that song "In the Air Tonight." It's like, I can feel it coming in the. That's me on Friday night in the stands, baby. I'm ready to go. Anyway, on to Pam.
Excited for you.
Pam Forrester here.
Please move on to Pam.
She's in football country, even though she's not a big football fan, but it's okay. It's in her blood still because she's there, and she's back from space, which we're going to talk about on Friday. But today we're using her expertise to answer your listener questions. Pam Forrester, co-owner of the Magic for Less Travel. Welcome back home, Pam. Glad to have you.
Thank you. I returned from space. All is good. It was a good journey, and I'll talk more about it on Friday. But just a little teaser. It's awesome. So as if there was any question about that, but no, it's awesome. And we are back to a new school year. And I just want to give a shout out to Hannah, who will be teaching, for the foreseeable future, the next few years, her contract position at Hayne Elementary in Cranberry Township. So I know she's in her sweet spot. She got her dream position, which is 3rd grade. Which she loves because at 3rd grade, they're not too old. They're not, too jerky, right? At 3rd grade. I mean, you had a little jerky period there in middle school, right? Let's be honest. We all were there. We were kind of jerky and not so little that she spends her whole day doing classroom management. So, she's really excited. She was in there getting her classroom already today. So I'm glad that she's found the dream position that she wanted. So anyways.
There's nothing better because, I was in the same spot when I taught at Wedgwood. That was my dream school. 6th grade was the grade I wanted to teach. And I taught with the dream team, these 2 ladies, Rosemary and Jane. And then of course, Pam was on the team. So that worked out pretty well for me. It was amazing because I got exactly in the neighborhood I grew up in, the grade I always wanted. It was great. Like, I mean, I stayed after school. It was just, I loved it. Like it's funny because then you're bought in, and I just want to, shout out to all the teachers and the students, Yeah. That's a great thing about education is you get a fresh start every year. I love that.
For sure. And she has been, organizing and classroom libraries and so many things.
See, I hated that stuff. I know that most
She loves
Pam loves that stuff. And so
She
what I
does.
would do, every school year, like bulletin boards, I hated that stuff. I'm always like, bulletin boards is the stupidest thing ever. Pam was like the jam. She would like plan them out, like sketch them.
Yes.
I'm like, dude, I will buy you lunch until Christmas if you do that bulletin board. If you just like, number my books by levels, I will pay you. I don't care. Just I'll give you a blank check. I just hate that stuff. Like, just keep me out of the principal's office and write your own check. But yeah, it means doing it.
Funny.
Exciting. All right, let's get to the questions. First question is from Matt in Webster, and this one is I like the title of this one because we were talking about a few weeks back. We had a story about. We did a live show on Sunday night and it got taken over by when animals attack at Walt Disney World, because I went to go get a breakfast burrito at this place in my subdivision. I got attacked by a mockingbird. My knee got jacked up. Riley got attacked. And then we turned, because we talked about on Sunday night, and we talked about all the times like squirrels have gotten people at Epcot. Hot dogs have been taken from Casey's or Typhoon.
Seagulls.
Oh my God. Fish and chips over at Epcot at the fish shop.
Yeah.
So we got derailed. So I guess Matt's following up with that because it says tonight on Dateline when birds attack. He says, I have 2 stories of avian assassination attempts. The first was on our honeymoon. We were taking pictures in front of the bridge leading to Beast Castle before our Be Our Guest dinner reservation. The PhotoPass photographer snapped a picture at almost the exact same time as a duck takes off 10 feet behind me and it aims right for my head. We rushed to the app to see if the duck made the photo. It apparently just missed getting caught on film, but I was knocked back into the stone wall. He appeared so cute when he was waddling around in the pond, but trust me, he had malicious intent. So yeah, those ducks, man, they're just biding their time to attack. Yeah, okay,
That's for sure.
Totally, and it's a shame you weren't in the picture. That's a bummer. The second happened on our 2021 trip with our niece. We were in Epcot, sitting on the rocks near Norway, when a sparrow or something similarly small does a banked left turn and bounces off my cheek, dislodging my glasses from my nose. This diminutive fledgling, doing his best Top Gun impression, needs to keep his distance. I'm beginning to wonder if there is a case of mistaken identity and there is a contract out on someone as similarly handsome as me. Either way, twice in 2 trips, I have a direct run-in with birds. Have you ever seen a bird attack a child at fireworks time that ran out of popcorn before it was full and took out its anger on a finger or exposed toe? Matt from Webster. So I don't know. So those are crazy stories, especially that a bird would knock your glasses off your face. I would be freaked out. It's so funny though, because I think everybody, so we kind of talked about that on this Sunday night. Pam, do you have any, like, have you ever had any wild encounters with animals at Walt Disney World that have kind of come a little too close for comfort?
I think the ducks are very aggressive at Walt Disney World. I think during our first BOGP meet, we had some attacking ducks, right? For sure. I think squirrels are a little brazen at Walt Disney World too. They'll like come right up to you. They are not afraid. Mm-hmm. And the lizards are everywhere. I don't ever feel attacked by them because they're
not
very
our lizards, the actual lizards.
Yes, they are. But like usually, like when you're sitting by the pool, they'll be all over, and I love how they like puff out their throat, and it's a completely different color, right? It's all like red. So they're there, but I don't know that I've been outright attacked by anything. The birds, though, are of all kinds, are really aggressive. And I remember at Epcot, the seagulls used to be much more of a problem than they have been lately.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't want to speculate as to what may have happened to some of those birds, but
behavior modification, just like the rest of us. Exactly.
Yes. But yes, they aren't as much of a problem anymore. I'll just
Ricky, have you been accosted by an animal?
At Disney, I don't think so. I mean, I've had them get, pretty close, and I don't remember if I've had one take away food from me, but I've definitely had them get close. I did have one time though when I was in elementary school, and the bus used to pick me up at the end of my driveway. I had a really long driveway at the time, and so I would walk. I'd see the bus coming, and then I'd walk to get to the bus, right? And as I'm starting to walk down the hill to go to the bus, I get pooped on by a bird. So
good luck.
I had to run back in the house and change clothes, and I think my mom had to take me back home, take me back to school that day.
You probably got to go to school in the Mustang that day, so
yeah. So the bird pooped on me there, but I don't think that I've had I don't think any birds have attacked me while I've been at Disney, so that's good.
Paige had a hot dog stolen at Typhoon Lagoon, which is ironic because Emily had a hot dog stolen from Scott when they first went to Typhoon Lagoon too. It was in both times, both kids had that. This was obviously years and years apart. They both had that meal that came in the pail.
Oh, and
the kids meal with the hot dog, and it came with the shovel that you could use in the sand later after you finish your meal. Both times, Emily, Scott told me a story. I'm like, shut up. Same thing happened to Paige because she had to go back and get another hot dog. A big old goal came out.
The birds must know that pail.
For real. They think it's a feeding trough. So be careful. And Scott's headed to Typhoon Lagoon tonight, so maybe we'll have more stories. I don't know.
Gosh.
To find out. He's going to that H2O Glow Nights after seeing Christopher Cross. That's a good night. After he's eating a big thing of ice cream, which I'm so jealous. Okay, next question is from Abigail. It says solo Disneyland trip, which is very timely for today's podcast. Excited. We'll be talking some Disneyland here. Hey, BOGP crew. I am going to Disneyland for a last-minute solo trip in 2 weeks. I fly in Monday afternoon and fly home early Thursday. So it'll be about 2.5 days in the parks. I've been to Disney World lots of times, but only been to Disneyland twice, and both times with family. What would you suggest is must-dos for a solo traveler in Disneyland? Also, any suggestions for where to eat would be great. Thanks so much for everything you guys do. Abby's over in Illinois. I have a suggestion, kind of a low key. We fell in love with this place, and I can't even believe Hungry Bear. We love Hungry Bear. We like the food there, but we love that upstairs kind of on the deck there.
Yeah,
especially it was right at sunset.
Yep.
Hungry Bear is a great place to go get this little counter service food and just.
And they have the fried green tomato sandwich. What I was gonna say.
The fried green. I've had that.
Good.
Didn't have that. I had a chicken sandwich, but
don't miss out on the funnel cake, the cookies and cream. I think funnel cake. Oh my gosh, it was so good, so good.
But that sounds good. So there you go, fried green tomato. So that's one thing I would suggest, a place to maybe grab a good counter service meal. Ricky, what about you? So maybe something solo to do.
I mean,
she's going to be there before Main Street Electrical Parade ends. Make sure you see that.
That's true. I'm going to say, this is what I'm going to go with. Go get a corn dog at the corn dog cart.
Oh yeah.
Okay, you got to do that.
I'd pay $20 for one of those corn dogs right now.
I know, right?
Yep.
Go do that. Then go over to the mint julep bar and get either a mint julep or get
another $20. Boop.
Yeah,
right
or get some beignets.
Oh, you're $60 in.
Yeah, exactly. Best. I mean, right there. Is it all fried food? Yes, it is.
Sure.
Does it matter? No, it does not. It's delicious. I'm gonna be like a make your own lunch. That's mine. Yeah.
And then if you have those three things for dessert, go get a churro off one of the carts.
There you go. Exactly.
The thing about Disneyland, there's churros every 52 paces. That's what I noticed. Pam first noticed it, and then when she said that, I was like, you are exactly right. You cannot take 52 steps in this park without coming across a churro. I mean, they're everywhere.
Oh, you're wrong. You're right. But the other place I would suggest too, just as an actual suggestion, is Jolly Holiday Bakery. I think that they have some really good sandwiches, good soups, and it's a really good stop too. So, yeah.
And you got to talk in a Dick Van Dyke
spot.
Yeah. I would like to have a spot of tea. Something like that. Maybe not. Maybe for solo. But Pam, what about you? What would you do solo? You have some time there. What? Maybe in a try. I would do the historic stuff, but that's just me because I'm a nerd. I would go see Great Times with Mr. Lincoln.
That's so good.
That stuff. That probably my family would be like, "Oh, you're killing me."
I would focus on all the things that Disneyland has that Walt Disney World doesn't have. And there's quite a few attractions. Actually, spend some time. After you do that, spend some time in California Adventure. I think it's totally worth it. It's actually one of my favorite parks. I love the feel of California Adventure.
I love it too.
So much to do there. And I got to throw in a good mention of food here with Bengal barbecue, bacon wrapped asparagus, the skewers. It's something that's fairly unique to Disneyland. But yeah, there's just so much to see, and make sure that you also spend some time in downtown Disney, which is still called out there in California, right? Because there's some cool things to see there, and some great restaurants as well. Just there's something about Disneyland, and I think too, much of the year the weather is so much more enjoyable than it is in Florida, right?
That is right there. Boom, got to give you the bell. That is the understatement of the year. 4th of July, we were watching fireworks in sweatshirts and shorts. I was like,
I know.
I hadn't gone to heaven. It was unbelievable.
It really is so cool to be able to do that. They just have some really great weather that you can enjoy at different times of the year. So after having been in Florida not that long ago, I will say it's very different than Florida weather in the summer.
Yes.
Let's just say that. So anyways.
It's just so chill there too. And you mentioned downtown Disney. I didn't think I would like it because, Disney Springs is huge, right? And again, it's kind of like everything's proportional at Disneyland. But Pam mentioned this too. She's like, it's got everything you need. Again,
yes,
it's kind of the whole theme of Disneyland Resort. Like, it's got everything you need. Like, it's got the confectionery. It's got Marceline, whatever. It's basically the confectionery in downtown Disney. It's got a pizza joint. It's got World of Disney. It's got the funky like ice cream place. I forgot the name of that place.
Salt and Straw.
It's got Salt and Straw, but it also has another place. It's like a black
tap.
Yeah, Black Tap.
Something like that, but it's got like the crazy like concoction.
The burgers and shakes.
It's kind of like the two right? It's got like the sundae with like something on top of that, like the 3 things in one. But I mean, it really, it's got the Mexican restaurant, it's got the French inspired, the jazz kitchen, it has everything, but it's just all like wham, like in one place. It's so easy just to get around that whole place. Like Disney Springs is awesome because you can make a day of it and really go from one end to the other. But again, downtown Disney, you can get from one end to the other in 10, 12 minutes. But you could also make, 3 or 4 hours of it if you just go in all the stores and,
it's true. And I will say, when I'm coming from either the Disneyland Hotel or Grand Californian, that walk in the morning is my favorite walk in the morning because, I mean, especially because we're on East Coast time, we're up so early, but there's always music playing there, right? And you can walk through and hear everything. I just really enjoy it. There's something about that spot that I really enjoy.
It was a lot of fun. All right, this next question says urgent
babies
at Disney resorts, or there's really no space, so it could be urgent babies.
Urgent babies at Disney resorts.
So, I don't know if they're babies that are urgent or if this is just an urgent question. So let's hit it and find out. Hey, Mike and BOGP friends, I'm traveling to Alani next week with a 2-year-old and a 3-month-old. We love the resort, but I just had an OMG moment. I have no idea what to do with my 3-month-old at the pool/beach. I've never traveled to a Disney resort with a kid this young. I know I know when you go to Walt Disney World with your daughter, I know you went to Walt Disney World when she was very young, and I know I can't be the only one who has traveled with an infant. Do you or the community have any ideas for swimming and naps at the pool/beach? The 2-year-old wants to swim and play all day, but the baby can't sit up or roll over by himself yet. Thanks in advance, Jordan. Oh my gosh. This was totally my wife's department, but we took Mallory for the first time to Walt Disney World when she was 6 months.
Right.
But I mean, we just kind of just took her to the pools and just kind of, we had, I want to say we even brought with us. Now we bought it at Walgreens or Walmart or something, like a little inflatable kind of thing, but we didn't take it out of the package until we got to Walt Disney World. So that, because once you take those things out, you never get them back.
You never get it back.
True. It's so true.
Anyway, right? I mean, they're disposable for the most part. So we bought a couple of like inflatable things that once we got there, we could put, and I don't even know if they allow you to do this still at Walt Disney World. I remember we did this at Pop Century. We have pictures. She was like in a little floaty thing that we just, sit next to her, just like float her around the pool. So that's what I would suggest. I don't know, but I mean, you're just going to have to really, kids, that's small nap all that. Forrester, what do you got? I don't know. Yeah, remember, I was just kind of hanging out in the pool with her whenever Pam said.
There are floaty things. They even have like a canopy over
Yeah, I've seen
them
those.
for little babies.
That's what it was. It had like a little like a roof on it. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, it is. And they don't have to be sitting up. I think make sure you bring, as when you have a baby that's that small, you have a mat for everything, right? Because they're constantly wanting to be on the floor or rolling around and putting everything there. As long as you have something that you can spread out and put the baby on or in, and there's stuff that he or she knows, I think that's a good thing. I think that was always my fear when Han was younger. And like she's putting everything in her mouth and everything is disgusting. So like if anything I could cover, I felt good about with that, because then it was at least our disgusting germs and not the world's disgusting germs, right? With that. But I think, the good thing is it's harder, I think, to deal with a child who's learning to walk than it is to deal with one who's not.
Yeah, the 6 month trip was way easier than like the 2-year-old trip. Oh my God.
Yeah, because once they're walking around or think they can walk around everywhere they want to, even if they're not good at it, and that's a challenge in itself too. You'll probably be, doing some duty, walking that baby a little bit, and the time change will be a little challenging. But try to keep everybody once you get there, when you arrive there, and I don't know when you'll arrive, but typically you arrive sometime in the morning if you're flying over in a night, or in the early afternoon. Try to keep everyone up for as late as you can that first night, because then everyone goes to sleep and you sort of get on that time so much easier. You've probably thought of some things like this. And take some food that the baby is familiar with. Well, baby's going to be younger, so maybe
months old. I doubt they're having time.
Right. Yeah.
Probably not.
But if you do use formula or supplement with formula, try to take that with you so that the baby has things that he's familiar with. But have a great time. You'll make so many memories. I was just having this conversation with someone who was always saying to me, well, when's the best time to take them? What will they remember it? Will they whatever? And I've said this since Sienna was little. You do a million things a day for that child that they will never remember. Why should vacations be any different than this? It contributes to their well-being as a person, whether they remember it or not. And guess what? You'll remember it. So
that's right.
That's what's really, really important.
I just realized it's like 2 or 3 month olds going to Alani, and I'm 48.
I know, right?
I haven't been.
So jealous.
You need to make that happen.
Yeah, I do. That's just not fair. The only thing I could think of, though, is just remember to bring a blanket for the beach, because sand gets like I said, kids put everything in their mouth. I mean, sand, dude. It's just like they think it's sugar probably, and it's rock, glass. Anyway, okay, next question. Okay, so it's a comment. We had a show about 3 or 4 weeks ago, right at the baseball trade deadline. Scott and I did a show with like what kind of trades we make between Walt Disney World and Universal if we had to make like a baseball trade. And so Kevin's coming in hot here. He said, sorry, I'm late catching up with the shows. Just listened to the BOGP open line from July 31st, and I have an epic blockbuster. Now, of course, this is past the trade deadline, so the commissioner would have to approve this. And it would have to clear waivers, but here's what he has. And I wanted to let you two be the arbiter of this trade and see if I have a feeling you guys would both allow this trade.
Okay, all right.
Which worries me because I say no to this trade.
Let's hear it.
Let's go.
I think I'm outnumbered. So here it is. He wants to make this trade. He wants to trade. This is a blockbuster, and it is. It's a whopper. It's almost like the Soto trade with the Padres. He says Toy Story Land and Galaxy's Edge.
Okay.
For Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Both parts with Hogwarts Express included. So Universal gets Galaxy's Edge and Toy Story Land. Walt Disney World gets all the Harry Potter lands over to the studios. Would you approve this trade as a Disney fan, looking at it from the Disney perspective, because we are a Disney podcast? Ricky, what say you to this trade? This is going to change the course of history for the Walt Disney World parks.
I mean, it would, yes. obviously, I would say as a Disney fan, yeah, you'd want to make the trade. But personally,
you would. I mean, as a Disney fan, you make it so casual, like, oh, you totally would want to give up.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan, so like I mean, that has something to do with it for me. Like, I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan, so I would totally make the trade. But as a theme park fan, I like it the way it is, and the reason is because it gives people who maybe didn't have a reason in their minds to visit, Universal. Now it gives them a reason to visit. They should have been wanting to visit anyway, but it's a great park. So, I think that I like that it is where it is, because I think that it's a good fit for Universal. But I mean, yeah, as a Disney fan, of course I would want it to be in Disney. And, for many people don't realize this, but it almost was. There was a time when J.K. Rowling and Disney were talking, but it did not pan out that way. So that's
dodge that bullet.
No, we didn't dodge a bullet. It's just J.K. Rowling had other ideas and Disney had other ideas. So, that's how that worked. So that Universal was more willing to work with J.K. Rowling on her ideas. So
it's easier to work with the kind of the second, like if you're not the leader within an industry, right, you're going to give up more creative control to the person who's coming in and take more risks, and that's what they got with Universal.
Exactly.
J.K. Rowling got, which I mean totally makes sense in indie industry, right?
Exactly.
I mean, and that's kind of why it ended up there. So yeah, I like the way your perspective is. You're looking at it from the commissioner of baseball would be looking at it, hopefully, from the good of the game.
I look at it from the good of the game. Exactly. From the good of the game, I like it the way it is. Yes.
Okay. I see what you're saying. You're kind of looking at that would help Universal, give people reasons to go over there. Toy Story and Star Wars. Dennis is freaking out in the chat, which I love. I'm with him. The force is strong with Dennis. Pam, what say you to this potential swap here with all these big IPs? What would you say?
So I kind of feel similarly to what Ricky said. Personally, I think that Disney missed the boat on what is one of the best stories out there. They're all about storytelling, and they missed Harry Potter, which I think is a great story and so many reasons too. But I think if anything involving Harry Potter worlds or lands or whatnot happened at Disney, it wouldn't happen as well as it did at Universal.
I absolutely agree with that.
I don't think it would be the same. There's a darkness to some of the stories and some of the characters that I don't know that Disney would have been willing or able to do. There is definitely the creative control of JK on that, but I think there's more to it than just JK and Disney not agreeing. I think it's just a little different. I don't think it would have happened as well. I just really don't.
I 100% agree with that. I don't think it would have happened as well. No.
And it's such a great spot right now. Like, as a Harry Potter or someone who enjoys Harry Potter, I could literally just go and be in the lands and be very happy there.
Yep.
I feel very similar when I'm at Disney. I like the overall atmosphere, and I feel the same at Universal too. There's so much, and it's so much more than Harry Potter. Ricky's right. I mean, so many people end up going there because of Harry Potter, because they want to see that part of it, but they end up enjoying so much, like the resorts and whatnot. So I think I'm content to leave things the way that they are, but I feel it's sort of a loss, right? And I think Toy Story Land is really cute. I love it. It's a great addition to Hollywood Studios. It doesn't feel like a full land, though.
No.
So I'd be
agreed. It does not feel like a full land.
Every time I'm there, I'm like, it seems like there could be a little more. Just saying. Four movies, and we
get this. Yeah. Now maybe the restaurant will help that a little bit.
The restaurant is a start, because every land should have a sit-down theme.
I still think that restaurant should have characters. I think that should be a character meal.
There's like 5 no-brainer things.
I mean, seriously,
this is a Toy Story character meal like this,
right?
I don't think it's going to be, but I really should be. Like, there's no reason why it shouldn't be a character.
Why should you not be dining with Buzz?
I absolutely agree with you.
Jessie, Bullseye. I mean,
did you call her Messy?
Jessie.
Oh, I thought you said messy.
Jesse. Yeah, right.
Woody's girl. There's an 80s
Yeah,
song.
Jesse. Yeah. Well, no, that's not Woody's girl. It's Buzz's girl.
No, it's a joke. Jesse's girl. It's a song.
Oh, I got it. Oh, okay, never mind.
kidding.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, I think that, there's stuff we could do, but I love Star Wars as part of the Disney family. I mean, I feel like, it does really represent good storytelling, right? Because Star Wars is a great story too. So I wouldn't want to have to give that up as a Disney fan. But yeah, I think it worked out the way it was meant to.
Agreed.
Right. Yeah, that's right. There's balance in the Force.
That's right.
But I will say, because we went down for the training and we did some time over at Universal in 2018 with the agency. And again, never read a Potter book, never seen a movie except for the first 10 minutes. I fell asleep at space camp. That's most I saw. Like, he was under the steps and like he had something on his forehead, and that's the most I've seen in the movie. Like, that was it. And but the thing was, like, when we walked through the lands, I could appreciate how themed everything was. Like, it was amazing.
Yes.
I didn't know what was going on, but it was like, whoa, this place is cool. Like, why is the kid puking in the store window? Like, I don't know the story there. It's pretty awesome. I don't know if I need that in my life, but
Puking pastels.
yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird. Okay, so next question. Now, this, how the kids say on social media, like, I feel seen.
Yes.
This question makes me feel seen a little.
Okay, let's hear
All
it.
right, let's go.
See if you get it. It's from Jenna. Hello, all. I'm freaking out a little. I work as a social worker in a public school district. This means limited time off. I also got into the Dopey Challenge. I need to return home on Sunday after running the marathon. Okay, here's the stressor / question. I need to finish the marathon in time to check out / shower by 11 a.m. and be on our 1:55 flight.
Wow.
The slowest marathon I've run is 4:35, and I'm staying at Boardwalk, so I could literally walk to my resort after the marathon. Is this possible, or am I fooling myself that I can do this? Okay, so little background here. When I did my first marathon, I did fly home. The guy, please don't think anything less of me after I say this, okay? We're all friends here, right? And I mean, this was the only way I could do it back in the time because I was in the same spot. I was a teacher. I didn't have any other days off. I had to be back to teach on Monday. And the only time the flights worked out was I had like a 7:00 flight. But, and I mean, you got a 1:55 flight, man. I like this because you are really.
But that means you have to be at the airport at 11:55. And
but she can do it.
But my worry is that MCO. I mean, unless she has like TSA pre-check, which I'm going to very strongly suggest that they have. TSA is such a nightmare a lot of times at MCO that
you're just making it worse for her. But you're being.
I know. I would do a later flight. I'm just saying. I would if there's a later flight, that would make me feel better. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's too close. It's too close.
If she could get a private jet, that
Well, there's that too, but I don't think that's going to be in the cards. So.
Okay. So here's the thing. So I'm trying to look at logistics of this because I did the one day. I remember I ran my first marathon. I think we were all together that day.
Yes.
Like, we went to Via Napoli and had like
yes,
like lunch.
Pizza. Yes.
We had pizza. Mallory fell asleep on the table. I remember that. I almost fell asleep on the table. And then we immediately, I still in my lizard shirt, went to the airport and flew home. Forget the shower. I didn't even shower. Like, Pam checked this out. So what I would do again. God bless the people that are flying home with you in the chairs next to you. But I would just, again, it's super hard to do because you're checking out because you got to get on the bus for the Dopey for the marathon on Sunday. You got to be on the bus like at 2:30. I would pack everything up and drop my stuff at Bell Services and just check out. Like, well, I don't know though, because you're going to have to go. Let me think about this because if you're by yourself, it's not such a big deal. You're staying at the Boardwalk. So I guess you could finish the marathon. So let's see, let's say you start the race at 6. She says the slowest she's done is 4:35. So let's go with the 4:35 marathon. You start at 6, you're done at 10:45. Yeah, dude, you're really tight.
Remember, traffic's a mess that day.
Well, but you're going to walk back. Yeah, you're right. You're going to walk back. So it's going to take you at least an hour by the time you get your medal. Right. To walk back to, I mean, this is because you're already run 26 miles. You're not going to be like going super fast. So by the time you like get your medal, because you walk, I swear, like 2 miles out of the way or through that parking lot to come back into the gates through Epcot. You got to have your theme park reservation now. Don't forget that. To walk back through Epcot to go out the International Gateway to the Boardwalk. That's going to be at least an hour. So that was like 10:45. That's 11:45.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I don't know if you could do this. I don't know.
Mm-mm.
What do you think, Pam? Because I'm very conservative. And I mean, even if you are very aggressive in your planning, I mean, I wouldn't.
I know. That's what I keep going back to that too, because not only that, but the last time we were at Orlando, the line to check in our luggage was really long.
Mhm.
Thankfully, Steve has some kind of whatever with Southwest that we can use another desk that's available to priority select members, but that can be an issue too. Oh yeah, Jennifer. Yes, Jennifer, you're reading my mind here that you have all that. If there is a later flight that day, I would try to see if you can do that flight. It just seems like it's going to be really challenging. And maybe you're thinking of stuff that we aren't. Maybe you don't have to check luggage. Maybe, you're not as worried about some of these things. But on any given day, Orlando, the lines to check in can be crazy. And you may get there and it may not be. But we're just giving you the worst case scenario in this space. And
Exactly.
I hate to make you worry anymore than I'm sure you already are. But
it'd be better to think about it now in August than to miss the flight in January.
Yes.
And the thing is, Pam kind of mentioned this earlier, the traffic that Sunday morning, because I mean, you're going to be leaving, if you're going to make this happen, you're going to have to leave property by noon. I mean, you're talking noon at the latest. You're going to be making your way from Boardwalk off property over to MCO, and they're still breaking down the course at that time because people are still finishing, which the roads are getting, reopened at that point, but they're also going through and taking down all the barricades and they're slowly reopening the roads. The traffic is still a mess until about mid-afternoon on Sunday.
It is.
So that is not in your favor.
No.
But I mean,